Good morning, ma'am. My name is Kent Lawrence Limin, and I'm about to discuss my study about the crime prevention in the Philippines. And this and introduction. The crime, as we are all aware, has been growing problems throughout the Philippines. However, we are not powerless against the crime and the fear of crime lower the quality of life. Many Filipinos, particularly those living in the poorer areas, damaged by the crime. And crime is already costing the community thousands of millions of pesos per year for insurance, the police courts, and the replacement of the building and the facility by the crimes. And the traditional approach to crime prevention has been to try and identify the psychological and social causes of the crime, and to attempt to remedy these deficiencies by the threatening of the individual and employment and services for groups regardless to being at risk. And crime prevention compares this strategy and measure the seek to reduce the risk of the crime occurring and their potential harmful effect on the individual and society, including fear of crime and individual influence their multiple causes. And crime and crime prevention places more responsibility on the individual for ensuring his or her own safety than those traditional law enforcement, but to succeed it needs cooperation of the police, public and private organization, and members of the community. And and the and the crime involving theft, physical assault, and robbery were the top three most common crimes reported to the local authorities in 2013. Uh, and within this background at hand, the researcher ventured to investigate the police station in Butuan City. It is a challenge to duty for the PNP in their capacity as enforce of the law in their respective areas of the responsibility to keep the area safe, to attract the more investigators, and to make sure that the people are safety and secure in the community. To it, this study will assess the effect on the invaders in the implementing crime prevention and suppression effort in the crime rate reduction by the basis of the future and venture programs. Um, the statement of the problem is the problem analysis to analyze the problem. Crime prevention provides a framework and mission by the stating the opportunities, the specific situation for a crime. Crime prevention has identified main ways in which situation can be modified. These are the following are would like to remove excuses that the offender may use to justify the action. And second, when the reporting an incident to police, information that the dispatch center will usually request from the caller. And the third one is what are the some possible reasons crimes may go unsupported. And the significant of the study is to raise the awareness of the police policy and members about the needs and the need for the crime prevention and to provide particular ways to implementing the crime prevention programs and measure. Successful security planning will most likely incorporate some aspect of native, curative, and mechanical and environmental techniques. And scope of delineation is to police already use computer and crime analysis unit to help the apprehend criminal by walking their data. They could predict crime and take steps to prevent it. Crime survey could prove invaluable to many groups besides the police. For example, the architectural firms and hand developments could avoid the minimize many of the crimes proceeding future of urban and development in a crime survey cannot be done. Police data can be used, thought in might have to be reworked to give a clear picture crime in locality. And the mass division of the terms and the RRL or in as review of related literature, the and chapter T, the methodology research design. This study utilize the descriptive method of research, a thought investigation and interactive along with the crime prevention study adopted by the police force in the Butuan police station was considered in this study. The three researchers can go about doing descriptive research project and they are observational defined as a method viewing and recording the participant. Case of the study defined as in-depth study an individual or a group individual. And survey defined as brief interview or discussion with an individual about a physical topic. And the respondent of the study will be active members of the Philippine National or something else that be assigned in the Butuan City Station involved the maintenance and peace and order, school head, barangay official, leader or private and public sectors, and effectiveness strategy adopted by the PDP in the area. And the instrument must be part of the instrument of the study and throughout the process of validation content instrumental technically recognized by the Dean of the Community Student of St. Joseph Institute of the Technology. Revision will be presented based on the recommendtions and comments. A draft of the revised instrument will be validated by the Chief of the Police Station of Butuan City, who verified appropriateness of the question and recommended by administering and questionnaire. And the data procedure must be before the instrumental was administered to the respondent. The researchers sent a letter requesting the mayor and the chief of the police of the city and the approval of the conduct of the study. And the researcher may be assured that anonymity on the respondent will be strictly observed to the gather honest answer from the respondent. And ethical consideration and the ethical view which seems crime processing on itself about the interests of the other and any short-term gain for the offender obtained in the crime is outweighed by the understanding of the wrongfulness of the conduct and the harm it causes the victim of the community. And lastly, must be the statistical treatment. I will use the statistical treatment to interpret my data that being gathered. It helped to be easily understand that interpretation of the data is in those study and this analysis previous studies evaluating the effectiveness of the crime prevention policies adopted in the city of Butuan. And lastly, this is the place where I conduct my study in the Bangkasi, Butuan City. And that's all for now. Thank you, ma'am.